Alright guys, let me just talk to you about something, okay? I'm going to talk to you about the ways of the martial arts, okay? Martial arts. So, I've done a lot of training, as I say, since I was 12 I started the martial arts. Started studying and training when I was 12 years of age. I'm now nearly 44, I'm 43 now, at age. But yeah, anyway, so basically, I want to just say that martial arts, right? Definitely you need a lot of skill, right? And some sort of power in you. Right? I know we've not gone into detail on certain things. Strength, definitely flexibility to different degrees of these different elements and how they work together, etc. But the point is, the best thing, right? The main point of it is, right, with the martial arts, right, ways of kung fu training, right? Martial arts is any martial arts basically, but I mean, the essence of kung fu is in it. It's got to be in it, obviously, which is the ability acquired, the power and the skill acquired through diligent long-term training. But obviously, you need ability. You can't just have no power, nothing, and no, ability. I mean, you could be like really great, and someone could just, take you out. You know what I mean? Someone who's not any, background like that. Been through it, like you might have been through it. But what I've learned, the whole, in so many years of training, is the point I'm going to bring to you now. Because I'm nearly, as I say, I'm nearly 44 years old. I'm 43 now. I'm nearly 44. And here's the thing, right? So I'm nearly 44. I'm 43 and a half. I started my kung fu training when I was 12. Now I'm feeling tired and older, but it's a road of yin and yang. That's what it is. Your whole life, as Lao Tzu said, nature, health in your mind and body. The road goes on. It's life. It's the way of life. Martial arts. I've started with karate, and I went on to So martial arts. I started with karate. I went on to kickboxing and different kung fu systems and wushu and stuff later on, as I say. So I've trained both in England and in China. But the point is, what I want to say is, whereas it does need effort and physical traits, attributes, whatever, I want to say something. I've learned something. When when you say, when you train when you're younger and it's hard, and then the more you train, the better it becomes more easy, right? The hard things become more easy, right? That's one way to say it, but I'm trying to say this in a different, the same thing in it with a different point here. Excuse me. When you do train for so many years, and I'm just speaking from me, from my own life experience, when you've trained for such a long time, so many years, and it becomes a natural way, the listening and the awareness becomes so aware, the preciseness, that it doesn't feel like an effort anymore. You become more of you become more accurate and able to flow, as opposed to forcing things, or fighting, So, whereas it is hard, obviously, if you're in a fight with someone, obviously, and you're having to defend yourself against attacks, move fast, strike back, or wrestle with the guy. Yeah, there's that element to it. You might imagine a younger person having to put his attributes into action, But what I'm saying is when you get to a certain stage, you learn such subtleties. That is to say, you can move your sword in a certain way, and the opponent just falls on the sword, on the point, however it's pointed. or across the edge. You don't even need to work too much. You don't need crazy swinging moves like a baseball bat, So what I'm trying to say is I'm not talking about weapons. I'm just talking about the essence of, like that with weapons, the same thing. So when you've got bare hands, empty hand skill, you can connect with the energy of an opponent and know how to absorb their energy in a certain way and just let them fall into nothingness. You don't need to use hardly any of your physical energy at all. You just literally just become limp and relaxed and nothing, and the opponent just falls. You know how to step and position and turn yourself and manipulate your bodily position because you do basic exercise and you trained, enough each day, and like over the years martial arts training, and then in the future, as you go through your life, regular daily exercise anyway. So it becomes pretty easy, pretty simple to just use it, and then also very, very accurate, very, very to the point, very accurate to the point. You don't need to. There's not much effort needed. It's just you listen. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like you don't need to look like so hard, or listen so hard. The light, the things come to your eyes, the sound come to your ears. Same with the smell or the taste. When you taste some food, you don't try to taste it. Oh, what's it? Is it salty, spicy? No, you can just taste it. So that's all learning. So you're thinking too hard. You're trying to study what someone's saying, but you just hear your voice in your mind. You don't hear what's said. You're reading a book and you're talking about the writer. Oh, this guy was a crazy guy. No, that doesn't make a difference. Just read what's written. It is what it is. That's what Lao Tzu was saying, that Tao Te Ching is saying. What Lao Tzu was saying is the truth is the truth. You keep painting legs on a snake. That's what I'm saying. Your mind is always too much yin or yang, that's the problem. And you follow Kongzi to the wrong bus. So, I'm sorry to Kongzi, I must say. Alright, he's a wise man, but he got the wrong bus. Lao Tzu told him to wake up. And here we are in 2026 with a fucking low wire talking this shit. And it's the same. So, it's a problem. But nature is what it is. So what Lao Tzu said when he said, man, heaven, earth. The road always goes on back and forward. You only have now your health. Healthy mind and body. The bush low wire fucking tells you for 5 minutes. Okay, this is your whole life. It is the Tao, basically. That's what he's saying. It's not a belief. It's not some ancient traditional culture. The truth is the truth. And one word is too much. One step in any direction, I'm going to miss everything else. Everything. That's why I said, the more you know, the less you know. So it's always yin and yang, basically. But the thing is, it's always yin and yang, yes, but what it was saying is there's truth and not truth. The things that are not true, it's not real, it's nothing. It's literally nothing. You understand? So you can use everything. Studying doesn't mean following. Listening, watching doesn't mean following. Yeah? If you're walking on the bridge, you respect the bridge. You don't jump up and down on the bridge and try to break the bridge. You listen to people's words. Listen with your whole body, essence, your life. You learn to respect. It's not hard work because you respect yourself. Like your whole body, your heart is working. Your whole body. This is the way of nature. It's not I'm gonna fucking give you the gong fu now and kick you out. No, this is how I say it? They said life is work. Life is power. You always want to win. You're always trying to win because you believe you're a loser. You're always trying to change the world or change yourself or change this or change that or break it or fix it or push it away or pull it to you or add to it or take away from it or change the color. You always want to change things because you're not happy with yourself. You're fighting yourself. Everything you're fighting yourself. That's why the satiety is the best. That's what I'm saying. So what Lao Tzu was saying was basically too much. He was basically saying you've got to listen to the truth. One word is too much. He said too many colours blind the eye. Too many notes deafen the ear. If it's music, right? Too many words. Too many steps. Anything, right? Too many flavours if you're cooking. So it's all got to be a flow of perfect central, the Tao basically, the center. So yin and yang is always balanced. Always balanced. You can't have more up. The more up you have, the more down you have. You're up and down. Dark, light, big, small, hard, soft. So the way of truth is just peace. It's an open door. Carry shopping bags that have enough space in them, and you can maybe carry some more things. You know? So, this is what we're talking about, right? Truth of nature, not forcing things. If you have to force things, then you're not doing anything. You're either underliving or over. How can you underlive or overlive? You can't. You just live. You're still alive. How can it be like less true, or more true? It's just true. Or more safe or less safe. No, it's just safe. More dangerous. Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. This is what it is. It's a perfect point. Everything is a perfect point of infinite possibility. Because it exists, that's why. And it's got opposites. Every point is the gateway to all points and paths. And every path is the gateway to all paths and points. And they're opposites of them as well. And the existing and the non-existing. You learn what you have by studying what you don't have. Basically, it's clear as day. You can see it all night. When you study what you don't have, when you study what you do have, you realise what you don't have there. But the thing is, the studying, the observation of the mind wandering takes the feet on a journey to being lost. You're so overwhelmed with the work you're engaging in, the battle, the confusion, and the exhaustion that you miss every moment, which could be the start of a beautiful or a better journey, or for a point where a journey could end and you can just be free finally. You miss it and you go through time with your physical body and mind and body, wherever you are, in one place, or it's almost like you're walking up and down in a prison cell. The same if you're traveling all around the world. What are you actually doing with yourself? This is the question. What are you doing with yourself? Nature is the truth. Reality is the way. And the Tao is the embodiment. The two sides to everything that allow it to be. The Tao is the method, you could say, the infinite method of yin and yang, right? That's what the Tao is. You understand? So when I'm talking to you about this, it's not what I'm saying, it's not what I believe. Do you understand me? Hold on one second. When I'm telling you this, yeah, when I'm talking to you about this stuff, right, there's a lot of videos, you know that, it's a lot, we've done a lot, so many videos now. When I'm talking to you, yeah, it doesn't matter, English or Chinese anyway, but when I'm talking to you, okay, it's not some belief, like I believe in it. What does that mean? Think about it. The mind talking again. No, it's not a belief. It's not like I'm interested in some ancient traditional thing. No. What Laozi was talking about, the Tao, right, is absolute truth. It's not people's ideas, just nature. Not money, tradition, nothing, culture, none of that bullshit. The real truth about your existence. What is living in the essence, regardless of what you think, rather than living in the essence of a lie, following the confused society of people that are just in it for the fight, just constantly fighting. They are breaking themselves down with all of these silly, petty battles that don't mean anything, they don't add up to anything. And the moon's in the sky, motherfucker, look behind me. The moon's in the sky, motherfucker, look behind me. That's pretty glowing, isn't it? Pretty bright and glowing, that moon. It's a moonie. A woman doing a moonie, showing her booty on the window. It's a beauty. Just joking. She's screaming out, doing me. I'm walking down here, right? Down here. Oh, my legs have really got no power in. I'm really tired. I'm going to go back home now, as I say. And there's a guard down here who might start shouting and yelling, calling to me, saying hello. When I see my shadow t-shirts, I know I'm in the light. The way of nature is exactly what it is. If you can't see how your inner self is like, the yin and yang inside of you is like out of balance, study in the external that you're engaging with too.